Period. We live and ready to go. The broadcast just went out. Okay, I like it. I don't know what happened. So hi everybody. Hi. Living beyond limits. This shit got a block. Tell that bitch to kick rocks. Yeah. All right. So welcome in everyone. So I had to get Twitch up and ready because as soon as I pushed the button, all of a sudden Twitch shut down. So take it how it resonates for you. Anyway, hello. How was everybody's day? It is Thursday night, and the message we have is Pisces living beyond limits, embracing spiritual freedom and expansion. So, hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a message for the sign of Pisces. Pisces, my messages are timeless, so when you see them is when you're meant to hear them. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, please don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can get alerts when my videos are posted. Pisces, if you're new to my platform, welcome. I really want to straighten y'all up. Okay. Still ain't straighten it up, but you know, okay. Um, welcome and welcome in, y'all. So, O Cosmic Creator, source of all life and light, you're my shepherd, guiding me through every valley, every shadow. I lack nothing, for you lead me beside the still waters and restore my soul. In your presence I find peace and strength, for you're with me always. Your rod and staff comfort me, and your love prepares a path before me, even in the face of adversity. Grant me the serenity to embrace what I cannot change and the courage to change what is within my power. And the wisdom to discern the difference as I walk each day in faith. In the presence of your infinite grace, I am unafraid, for your kingdom flows through me as it does all creation. With deep gratitude, I give thanks for all the miracles already set in motion in my life. Shift what must be shifted, move what needs to be moved, and illuminate my path with your divine light. Align my heart, my actions, and my soul with your will. For I know you have already provided the strength, guidance, and blessings that I need. I release all fear, and I surrender fully to your higher wisdom. May your goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life as I dwell in your sacred presence now and forever. So, today was a pretty good day. I got to talk and laugh with some people, discuss some very important topics, that pertain to, life in general. We are waiting for some people to come in. Hi, everybody. Welcome. All right. So, spiritually, okay. Spiritually, what does it mean to live outside of the box? Living outside of the box spiritually means transcending societal, social, mental, and energetic limitations to embrace your higher awareness, authenticity, and infinite possibilities. It's about seeing beyond conditioned beliefs, questioning inherited narratives, and stepping into the vastness of your soul's truth. So, a lot of us actually have been conditioned to put ourselves in, predicaments where either we're overgiving, oversharing, not being, appreciated for, the value that you bring to a relationship, a situationship, a partnership, a family, any of that. So this way of living involves breaking free of conditioning, because that was a big thing. Like one night, we did ladies night, and we had a conversation about conditioning. When you come into this world, you only know what you're taught. Like, your parents, families, siblings, are all our guides at that time. And so a prime example of some of the things that we see going on right now. A lot of the stuff that we knew to be true or thought to be true is coming to light to not be. Like they're shedding light on, situations. Um, and I'm trying to be very careful when I say some of these things only because I want to make sure it comes off the right way. So shedding imposed identities, fear-based doctrines, and limiting spiritual um, circumstances. So you can do this. You can't do this. You're able to do this, but you're not able to do that. Um, it could be based off your race. It could be based off your status. It could be based off your sexuality, your sex, masculine or feminine. And when you are a child, people tell you you can do anything. You can do anything. Um, which is great because that should be the belief that we have in our minds. But then as we grow up, people start to kind of limit the things that, oh, that's not for you, that's for this group of people, or this is not for you, this is for this situation. And whether or not we believe it or not, some of these things still play a part in our lives right now. So what have you believed about yourself or your situation that led you to think that you can't do something that you may have wanted to do? Or, better yourself in a way, or put yourself in a certain position, or just whatever it is that, you could fathom in your mind. So expanding consciousness, viewing like the existence beyond the physical. So what we were taught, what we learned, what we see now. Because right now in society, it's like barriers being broken down as to, spiritually, certain things are happening. People are growing. Things that they told you once before that didn't exist, you're learning it exists. It's like the cover-ups that have gone on, throughout life. So how do we break the barriers that have been put on our mind in order for us to kind of go beyond that? Recognizing multi-dimensional realities and aligning with divine wisdom. So this dimension exists along with other dimensions. This is where, like, even when some people, are discussing shadows and things of that nature, or the spiritual realm, because it's almost like certain people saying I can see beyond. And now it's not so uncommon, or now it's also spiritually or scientifically known that these dimensions or these other dimensions even exist. But even still, what boundaries have they put on, the information or the knowledge that they have given? So tapping into your energy or your life force and going beyond what they said. They being, the people, the powers that be, your parents, society, your friends, your family, whoever. Because sometimes we put ourselves in a box as well. So defying linear thinking. Understanding time, reality, and manifestation is a non-linear quantum way rather than a rigid, structured path. Timelines and things of that nature, you're learning these things exist, but how do you put yourself in a higher frame of mind or a higher consciousness, even in the midst of bad things happening, or even in the midst of you being able to feel energy and some of the stuff that's happening right now in this universe? Because even though you can talk about it, it's almost like, well, how do I do that? So I had a conversation earlier today, and we were discussing energy, right? And one of the things about energy that we have been noticing is, for some reason, anytime anybody gets anywhere near me, stuff starts to happen, right? Now, one of two things could potentially be happening. We explored them all because literally me and this person noticed that it's the interruption in the energy every time. Like the other day I went to go and I was going to read the person something that I had wrote, and then all of a sudden all the lines, everything went haywire. The disconnection dropped. So I just assumed that, maybe spiritually I wasn't supposed to say what I said, what I was going to say to the person. They assumed the same exact thing because all of a sudden it was glitches and things of that nature happening, even in their, in their energetic field or on their phones and things of that nature. And so that's not the first time that I've noticed that happening. So something else took place where the person says every time I either come on or anytime I call, it is like an interruption or interference, which is funny because it's either giving the vibe of like, spiritually, there's something that's happening trying to block the communication, or we talk about jinn and things of that nature, right? So that was one of the conversations, one of the topics, a jinn, right? And so energetically, as I explained to the person, it just almost feels like this. So take, any random people, for instance, but in this case, it's me and then it's the person. And so this person may be connected to, some people, places, and things, right? And then there's me. So because this person is tied to something, and I could potentially be tied to something that I don't even know, but I'm tied to nothing. So we're just going to say that. But I also could be tied to whatever is now, dealing or messing with whatever this situation is, right? So me and this person, spiritually connecting, sharing energy, right? And so the person or the people that are connected to this energy automatically feel when there's some interference, because then there's some new energy that is coming around, because the energy is already talking, doing whatever it does, beyond whatever it is that we know, okay? Because I've been seeing this shit. So ain't nobody gonna tell me that this is not what's happening. So this is why, like, the minute me and this person is talking, I feel like the signal is a smell. But what is throwing the smell? Because I can smell when certain people are around certain people. Mind you, it's weird because I don't even know who the people are, but I can tell when the smell changes. So as I was explaining to the person today, I said that person has to smell when I come into your energy. Mind you, it's not even nothing like, whatever the person is assuming or whatever the energy is sending. It's not even that. There's no, nothing, happening that should be putting anybody on alert. But then again, maybe it could be. I don't know. Because again, the energy could be doing, maybe we smiling too hard or something. I don't fucking know. Point being, as I explained to the person, which when I come into this person's energy, then when the other person gets alerted, then all of a sudden they're calling, right? And so what happens is, because this person is connected to this person, so they'll say, I gotta call you back, or they, won't be on the channel, or they won't be doing whatever it is they're doing, right? And so now that energy is controlling whatever this energy is doing. And whether or not that be good, bad, or ugly, or indifferent, it's for this person to say. So if this person feels that now their energy is being pulled in a certain type of way, and they don't like that, then they would do something different. But now it puts these energies on alert that this is happening, right? So the discussion was, how do we stop it? Like, the person said, how do I become free? And then I asked the person, I said, how did you become a slave? And a lot of us don't realize that we become slaves to other people's energy, other people's frequency, because then we start not doing stuff that we want to do based off what another person thinks, how another person feels. Meanwhile, did we intentionally become slaves to energy or to situations? And why should we feel bad when we want to do something that we want to do? And if we want to do it, why does it interrupt anybody else's energetic field for another person to be free or happy or anything else? And as I explained to the person earlier today, I said, and that's also kind of weird because I can still be free and still be with you. Like, I don't have to be a slave or tied to or binded to a situation or bound to a situation because I choose to be with you. But why is it that in relationships or in connections or important partnerships or in anything that brings us closer energetically to a person, like once you start being in like, you know, close ties or close environments with people, why does it seem like instantly it's like almost unspoken and then it just happens? Because I don't ever recall any of the relationships that I ever been in, like a person asking me, do you want to be in this relationship? We just start, you know, liking each other. We start hanging out. We start hanging out more. And then here we are. And then after you hang out more and then you like to hang out with a person more, then all of a sudden, now you're married. And I already had the discussion with y'all already one time before, like sometimes these connections are like situations that were meant to finish out during this lifetime. Like this was the assignment. And sometimes, like even for like empathic people or people who are healers or things of that nature, some of these people are just meant to, you know, like they talk about soulmates and things of that nature, come into your life to, you know, fix something or heal something, or you heal something in them. Not necessarily meaning to sleep with, hang out with, love on, none of the above. And of course, love means, you know, so many different things. Not to be in love with or things of that nature. But where do we distinguish the things that keep us locked up? So living beyond limits. If you grew up the way I grew up, religion was already imposed upon you. It wasn't like you made your own choice. You are what your family are. Or you was what your family was. Food choices were already imposed upon you. You ate what whoever in the house cooked. The way you grew up was already imposed upon you because the conditions were what the conditions were in the household, in the environment, in the circumference of, you know, whatever your family dynamics were. And sometimes you could do something for so long that it's kind of hard to break, you know, those cycles. And it's strange because I don't know why prison, when you go to prison, it is, you know, semi-structured because you have to wake up at a certain point in time to eat. You gotta, you know, maybe make your bed. It's like, you know, military or something. Don't ask me because I ain't never been to prison other than the fact that I used to work there. So I used to be a CO, right? And so they would have to make their beds at a certain time. They would have to eat at a certain time. They would, you know, do different things at a certain time. And it's almost like with religion. Y'all just heard my app go off. That is a prayer time. So everything is set. It's, you know, structured for you to do this, 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 and this. I didn't grow up under that religion. Honestly, quite frankly, I don't like no religion. So why I got there and how I got there was strictly based off of, you know, what me and God got going on. And when I learn what I'm going to learn, I'm going to leave from there too because I'm not really a religious person. I'm always very much a spiritual person. And there are certain things in all religions, like Christianity, I don't like certain things there. Islam, I don't like certain things there. I'm probably going to learn something in, you know, Jewish culture and whatever other cultures they got that I need to be finding out. I'm probably going to, you know, figure it out. But I can almost guarantee you that I'm never going to like all of the things that they ever all consist of. And as I explained to y'all before, I will probably still stay covered because I cover anyway. I covered before I got to anywhere that pertained to any religious. It was more or less like energies jump. Keep yourself protected because you don't want to be accosted by any demonic beings, okay? And so covering is just a thing for me. So, you know, whether I do or whether I don't is my personal preference, because again, it's living beyond limits. And freedom means freedom. So if I wake up tomorrow and I decide to do something different, I've been saying that the whole entire time. But, you know, whatever me and God wish to, you know, whatever I get told to is what I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, living beyond your limits, mental, physical, spiritual, also being able to push yourself past where you think you were even meant to go. Because I'm different now than I was, you know, 5 years ago. I'm different now than I was 10 years ago. Different now than I was 15 years ago. 10 years from now, I should be, you know, completely different also. So as you learn, you change. So creating reality consciously. Recognizing that you are a co-creator. Being an adult means you can do some of the very things that you want to do. It's weird because it was even like with music. I'm a person, I like to play my music really, really loud, right? And it's so freeing when I'm just in the house by myself and I turn the music up loud and I'm just vibing or doing what I want to do. But it always puts me in a mindset to be like, I love where I am. Like, it starts to make me thankful because I'm not interfering with anybody else's, you know, anything. It's just me. So when I do certain things and I'm just comfortable in my surroundings and, you know, my situation, it makes me, you know, really thank the universe and really thank God for my placement right now. Because a lot of people, you know, if you turn the music up and you live with somebody or something, then it's like you could be interrupting their peace or, you know, whatever it is. And this is one of the things where I don't know if, you know, because structure is good. And maybe it's like a balance of all things, like, you know, being, what's the word? Being very diligent on, you know, your time, your behavior, your, all of the things, right? But the freedom of just being able to do what thou want when you can. And that could be anything. So it could be the freedom to just move around the country however you feel like it. The freedom to just do whatever the hell it is that you want to do without somebody else putting some restrictions on it. To me, it was as simple as food. And I know that's crazy, right? But when you grow up and it's like taking care of people and making sure that everybody likes what they got and this, that, and the third, and you are kind of like the mother figure and doing certain things, you are very much conscious on what everybody wants to eat. And because you don't want to make 9,000 different platters, you just normally stick to the things that you know everybody's going to eat. And so when it just became me and it was like, I can choose what I want to eat and it don't have to, you know, be something that everybody's going to like, because it's not a everybody, it's a me. It could have sauce on it because I like sauces. A lot of people don't like sauces. A lot, you know, my kids and everybody else, it wasn't really like a sauce thing. But something even as simple as that. And so I may be a lot different from a lot of people, or I may be similar to a lot of people in the fact that if you have been caring for and taking care of people, or just being the person that is the go-to person for anybody and everybody or whatever, you kind of, there's a lot of restrictions or things that you don't do because of the fact that you do what everybody else wants to do. And when you finally get to a place in life where it's just, what is it that you want to do? I'm not even gonna lie, it was almost like a struggle. because that was never a thing. And now it's almost like it's endless amounts of whatever it is that I want to do. If I wanted to pick up and go to Timbuktu right now, I could literally grab my purse and leave. I don't have to worry about, telling the kids, finding a babysitter, getting the dog together, nothing. Man, that kind of did a thing to my brain even when that was allowed to happen. Like, everybody's been telling me, and maybe it might wear off. I don't know. Because my brother always tells me about, being lonely in the kitchen. In my mind, I'll be thankful because the kitchen clean. I may change later. But as of now, it's almost like everything being brand new, everything being wondrous, everything being. If I felt like it just don't matter. I don't know if anybody. This must not even be anybody that I normally know. Where's all my people at anyway? Matter of fact, because why the fuck? I done been talking to y'all for over 30 minutes, 28 minutes, and none of my people done came in the chat. Ain't no damn way. So did this go out to anybody? What y'all trying to do? YouTube, what the fuck? Because ain't no damn way. Ain't nobody came in this chat and said, hey, nothing, and what the hell? And y'all people that's here, y'all rude. Y'all don't know how to say hi to nobody. Y'all just come in people's house and not say nothing. That's strange. Like, it's different around here. So let me go over here and see where my people at and see if they know that I'm actually even here. Because my people, they speak and talk when they come in here. I don't know what's up with y'all folks. I mean, I love y'all being here. Don't get it fucked up. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not used to nobody not saying anything. Like, hey, I asked y'all how the fuck was y'all day. Ain't nobody said nothing. Y'all didn't have a good day? Because I had a really good day. Like, what the fuck? Hey, beautiful Aaron. Love you. Thank you for being here. Aaron said, sorry I'm late. Aaron, look, I see. Aaron said you rang. You must have heard it, Aaron. You must have knew. Because I was trying to figure out what the fuck was happening because these people ain't said nothing. And I don't understand because, we be having a good time in the chat. Like, what the fuck? So that kind of blew me. Like, apparently we just here and here for nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing. I asked them how their day was going. They ain't said shit. How was your day, Aaron? All right, what's up with this? I'm trying to send a message over here to the collective and everywhere else because I was confused as to what was happening. I'm over here like, this ain't even making sense. Normally somebody done said something like, All right, anyway, so back to what I was saying. Things being brand new. So living beyond your limits, thinking outside the box. To live spiritually outside of the box is to step into boundless potential where magic, spirit, and truth become fluid and the soul leads without restriction. Like, does that not seem something, it seems like something that is otherworldly, maybe even unachievable, but it definitely is achievable. And so maybe it's like how the world right now is structured or how we see things right now because everything seems like it's very much chaotic and all over the place, right? My chat box. Oh, hey, Majestic Grace. Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. My chat box was not up. Okay, here, period. She said she didn't get the. That's what I said to them. I said they couldn't have got the notification because ain't no damn way. So we both got notified by the spirit. Period. Yeah, look, and I was saying something. That's how it started. Like I started sending out the bird call. Like, hold on, where's my people at? Because I've been over here talking, and ain't nobody showed up or nothing yet, right? So, I don't know if y'all heard a part of this discussion or not, but living beyond your limits, like cutting down, breaking down the walls, the barriers of the conditioning that we have all been placed under. You know, how we were raised, the places that we lived, or the communities that we lived in, how all of these things played a part. To live spiritually outside of the box is to step into boundless potential, a sacred space where you're no longer confined, yo, by labels, timelines, or expectations. In space magic, my day has just been school meeting so far. You don't look like you was too happy about that. That emoji. A sacred space where you're no longer confined by labels, timelines, or expectations. In this space, magic is not fantasy, but is living current. Listen, so I was talking about how gardening, because I went and got some potting soil today, right? And I was thinking of like how, and I know it's like cultivating the land and things of that nature, right? But I was thinking how energetically, a person who don't really have good energy can't grow flowers and like a garden, right? Mind you, that's a real fucking thing. So what does your energy need to be on, or what is the energetic wave that a person, or frequency that a person has to be on in order to make to turn something into a creation? Because again, I know it's like, okay, oh, that's just gardening, but not everybody can garden, not everybody can grow plants. Like, what type of frequency do you have to be on? Because what I have realized is, I done grew stuff in the, I have clay. I live in Georgia, so we got Georgia clay. That shit is not like the best of environments for something to grow in, right? So, but I be mixing, certain things, but I swear I feel like it is when I put my hands in the stuff, in the dirt, and mix everything together. To me, I feel like that's when I get the best like yield out of everything. So, and mind you, I love gardening because it has shown me that's the best. Like, I had stuff growing that I didn't even plant. I cut some greens and things. I got big green stuff growing outside in the back right now. I didn't plant that. I literally chopped it off from some stuff that I was growing, and then I went and I turned the dirt and stuff over, and the shit is growing greens like beautiful right now. Everybody can't do that. Some people, have to get other people to do, farming for them. Because no matter what they touch, it's going to die. I would think in abundant frequency and belief. Yes, because to me, it's like energy don't lie. Like, how a person can say, oh, well, if you're this or you say that, like, I'll be saying shit, mind you, and then I go right outside and start planting, and next thing you know, my shit is growing like, So in my mind, I feel like energy definitely don't lie, so I can't be, off or anything like that. Somebody would say, you would need to be this, that, or the third, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, show me what you got. Like, if you can't grow nothing, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I feel like that's the best test of everything. I don't want to hear you talk. Show me what you can grow. Show me what you can do, because you could talk your head off, and meanwhile, everything around you will start to die. So I told you, some people measure like, success by this, that, or the third, but meanwhile, that's not a measurement of it. Can you bring forth any type of, positive, life force or anything else, like something that says you put your hands on this and this is how it grew? I mean, I wonder if that's really like the true test of anything. You got that right, Majestic Grace. Majestic Grace. But see, you be too, you be too though. Period. To live spiritually outside the box is to step into boundless potential, a sacred space where you're no longer confined by labels, timelines, or expectations. In this space, magic is not fantasy, but living current of energy that responds to your frequency. So you know how they say that Pisces, we're always in a dream world or in a dream state or in our own world or in our own imagination. They call it the Lulu, this, that, and the third. But to me, matter of fact, I know for a fact, and again, not no like nobody's gonna ever be able to tell me anything different. When you can put yourself in a happy space when nothing around you is happy, that's a fucking gift. It will help you ascend and grow beyond your circumstances or your situation. Like you can control the outside world, or you are the co-creator of your reality, because although they live out there and where the bullshit is, I live in here and it's fucking, a wonderland in this bitch. Mind you, it's like when I said I've been in a very good energy, like very childlike energy. I've been laughing and everything else. Mind you, I had some very good laughs, even today with a couple different people. And I'm like, shit, it's good to even just enjoy good conversation. I was talking to Keita. I was talking to my brother. I was talking to Mentor. I was talking to, a couple different people today. And each one of them, I had a good laugh. But I also have been talking to, a couple of them, my brother and Keita mostly, about relationship stuff. And I said, from what I have seen, even like putting people in, your close vicinity, and this could be anybody. It don't even got to be a love relationship or anything else like that. Like, I'm starting to come to the conclusion, I don't know too many people that I really want to put in my space. Like, I know it just has to happen when it happens. But in reality, the more I get to know thyself, I feel like, you can love thy neighbor and everything else. But then all of a sudden that started to make me feel another type of way too, because did they lie to us about that? God is love. Love is the highest frequency. Is it? And this is just a question. Because I can love, myself. I can love others, right? And when I love myself, that means I don't put myself in predicaments or around people or in situations that say it's going to corrupt or start to even bother my energy, right? And then it made me wonder. I was listening to this song and he said, I don't want no more love. That shit is poison. And it made me wonder. Let's see. What's the definition of poison? Because y'all know I like looking up definitions, right? He said I put my demons to rest, but they keep stalking me. Mind you, again, I was listening to some shit and I was cracking up, right? Spiritually, poison represents anything that slowly or silently corrupts your essence, distorts your truth, or drains your life force. I don't want no more love. That shit is poison. Poison represents anything that slowly or silently corrupts your essence, distorts your truth, or drains your life force. You ready?
Yeah.
How many minutes?
I should be done by the time you get here.
All right, bye. I love you.
Bye, I love you.
Y'all, I'm going to have to go, but I mean, tomorrow, anybody that's here, anybody that listens to this, if you show up at the 8 o'clock meeting, I need answers. Okay? The song is Rod Wave, Poison. So listen to it. And then spiritually, poison represents anything that slowly or silently corrupts your essence, distorts your truth, or drains your life force. It says it can show up in many forms. I love you more, Aaron. Toxic thoughts like shame, self doubt, or judgment. People are always trying to make you doubt yourself and everything else. Energetic attachments, relationships, habits, or environments that keep you small. False beliefs, implanted narratives that disconnect you from your power. Sounds like religion to me. Unprocessed emotions, resentment, envy, fear that fester in the soul. This is what people bring. Cultural or spiritual programming that cages your wildness and numbs your intuition. Could that be how you enslaved yourself? I don't want no more love. That shit is poison. That nigga was not lying. Unlike something overly destructive, poison is subtle. It's the slow drip, the quiet agreement. What the fuck did I tell y'all about relationships? Like, literally, I ain't had a relationship yet that a nigga said, will you be my girlfriend? Nope, they just start calling, and all of a sudden, or will you be, whatever. They just start calling. We start hanging out. We start laughing. We start drinking. We start, all the ass food fucking fun. And now we're locked in, like prison. False beliefs, implanted narratives that disconnect you from your power. Unprocessed emotions, cultural or spiritual programming that cages your wildness and numbs your intuition. Unlike something overtly destructive, poison is subtle. It's the slow drip, the quiet agreement, the tolerant misalignment because we just tolerate some shit and some fucking people, even though they corrupting our every being, our essence. You may not notice it until your joy fades. Because they call it the honeymoon phase, when everything's fun and we're all laughing and sex is good. I like hanging out with you because it's fun. And then I start to notice your flaws, bitch. You may not notice it until your joy fades, your light dims, or your magic feels out of reach. Because now they done sucked it all out of you. And you done gave it to them without even noticing it. I told y'all earlier today I was in love with a nigga so bad. And then this nigga started playing in my face. We made so much money together because we was just in love. And we did all the love and everything else. And while we was having all the love, we was making a whole lot of fucking money. And then this nigga, when I got pregnant, he thought he had me locked in. And then he started doing shit outside of me. And then the nigga fucked around and forgot that I brought the magic. I brought the magic. And then after he played in my face once, and I forgave him, because I had a kid with the nigga. And then he played in my face twice. And I said, please don't do that, because if you keep doing that, I'm going to have to do this. But remember, the magic, it keeps everybody feeling good, because, that's what muses do. We do everything we need to do. And then it took a long time, like years. And, I ain't saying nothing because, I got beautiful kids. But in reality, I could have stopped that shit before the kids showed up. I could have stopped that shit when I first said I didn't like the nigga, when I really didn't like him. But then I spent time. And then I let a person, show me some nice things. Mind you, still, it didn't average out to what it should have been. Anyway, long story short, let me tell you how the person later on found out that the magic was mine. But It wasn't before that I had already gave away the power, and I had to remember that the magic was mine. And then I had to snatch my shit back. But for a minute, they had it because I started feeling some type of way. So I know this all too well, and it's not wrong. So you may not notice it until your joy fades, your light dims, and your magic feels out of reach. I fucking felt that before. And then I had to show somebody. Like, this was never your shit to begin with. And then you know what happened after that? That nigga ain't been able to get right since. And I ain't gonna lie to you. And so he would like to blame me for the fact that, you know, but either way, the shit was mine. But the medicine, awareness, truth, radical release, to identify the poison is to begin the healing. To purge is to reclaim your clarity, your power, your sacred vitality. Man, I don't want no more love. That shit is poison. I love y'all. Talk to y'all tomorrow.